Hello. So, our today's topic is larynx. Larynx is very important. In relation to that, it is the organ for phonation or voice production, and it is the organ which is to prevent the entry of the foreign bodies to the respiratory passages to the lungs or the trachea or the other parts of the lower respiratory tracts. So, here the larynx, before discussing the structures, so here in what you can see, these are the organs which are related with the phonation, that is the most important one. So before starting that, what is most important one, that is how the larynx is formed. So larynx, it is the, what is the larynx? Larynx, it is the membrano-cartilaginous structure. So you should remember this term, that is it is the membrano-cartilaginous structures. That means within the membrane, inner and the outer wall, the few cartilages are arranged so that a tubular structure or component is formed. So what are the structures? So in between the membrane, it is the same membrane, but as per the position in between the cartilages, so it is named differently. Okay. So in between the outer and the inner wall of this membrane, there are the cartilages. There are altogether 9 cartilages are there. So 6 cartilages here, these are paired. So 3 pairs of cartilage and 3 unpaired cartilages. So which are unpaired cartilages? The unpaired cartilages are the epiglottis, corniculate and cuneiform. The here epiglottis, thyroid and the cricoid cartilages, these are the unpaired cartilages, and paired cartilages are the corniculate, cuneiform and here that is the arytenoid. So arytenoid, corniculate and the cuneiform. So epiglottis, thyroid and the cricoid cartilage, these are the unpaired cartilages, and 3 pairs of cartilages. So these paired cartilages are the arytenoid, corniculate and the cuneiform. So if you see the thyroid here, this is the lateral view of the larynx. So here above it is the hyoid bone, below here you can see, so it is the first tracheal ring. So in between the hyoid and the tracheal ring, there is the formation of the here the larynx. So larynx, the position of the larynx, it is important. So in case of adults, it is situated in between the C3 to C6, and in case of children, it is in between the C1 to C4. Okay. So here in between the hyoid and the thyroid, so here there is the thyrohyoid membrane, I have already said. So in between the membrane, the laryngeal cartilages are placed or arranged so that the tubular structure inside that is formed. So in between the hyoid and the here the thyroid cartilage, so it is named as the thyrohyoid membrane. In between the cricoid cartilage and the thyroid, so there is the cricothyroid membrane. Okay. And there is the tracheal ring and the cricoid cartilage, so it is the cricotracheal ring, cricotracheal membrane, cricotracheal membrane. So by these membranes, here the thyroid cartilages, they are, or the laryngeal cartilages, they are held together. So if you see the lateral view, so here this is the thyroid cartilage, can you see? So this is the largest cartilage, so here this is the thyroid cartilage. So thyroid cartilage, here it is having, which you can see laterally. So these are the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, lamina of the thyroid cartilage. These are the superior cornu and the inferior cornu. Okay. Now this is the anterior margin where the two laminae they are meeting together. So this is the anterior border where the two laminae are meeting together. Okay. So this is the side view. So one lamina you can see from the side. Okay. Now here this is the cricoid cartilage. Here also cricoid cartilage posteriorly it is much more broader. This is called body of the cricoid cartilage, and these are the here the sigmoid, that is the signet sepate or the ring sepate arm of the cricoid cartilage. So these are going anteriorly to meet each other. Okay. So this is forming one ring. So this ring, it is posteriorly much more broader. So this is called body of the cricoid cartilage. Okay. So what are the structures they are attached for the fixation of this laryngeal cartilage? It is very important. Okay. If you see on the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, so lateral surface of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, so here you can see from above. So this is the, here you can see, so this is the muscle. So this muscle it is between the hyoid and the thyroid cartilage, hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage. So this is called thyrohyoid muscle, thyrohyoid muscle. Okay, from below one muscle is extended from the sternum to the thyroid. So this is the sternothyroid muscle, sternothyroid. And another one muscle which is also very important functionally, I will come in between the thyroid cartilage and the, here you can see, so this is the cricoid cartilage. So this is the cricothyroid muscle. Okay, so cricothyroid muscle that is attached to the here the inferior margin of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. So this is the inferior margin angle of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. So here this is attached. So this is the cricothyroid. So on the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, three muscles from above downwards. So thyrohyoid, sternothyroid, cricothyroid. Okay, along the posterior margin of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. Okay, so this is the posterior margin of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. Here from above downwards, three muscles are attached. These three muscles anteriorly they fuse together to form the aponeurotic structures. So they are here, if you go to the anterior margin of here anteriorly to the posterior margin of the thyroid cartilage, here you cannot see separate these muscle fibers separately, they are fused together. So they are forming the single aponeurosis. Okay, so these muscles from above downwards, so these are here, that is the, here the palatopharyngeus, salpingopharyngeus and the stylopharyngeus. So these muscles are the palatopharyngeus, salpingopharyngeus and the stylopharyngeus. So these are the muscles which are attached posteriorly along the posterior margin of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. Okay, now so here what you will see, so this thyroid cartilage, what is the, why the this is the basic thing. So why there is the voice quality of voice that is differing in case of male and the female and also the children. So here the growth of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, it is not same in case of the male and the female, and it is due to most probably that is the effect of the androgen. Okay, so what you will see, in case of male the vertical growth of the thyroid cartilage it is maximum, but in case of female and the children, so here the transverse diameter is maximum, so from children to the growth of the, here the lamina of the thyroid cartilage in case of females, they are not, here the shape is not altering too much. So the ratio or the proportion in between the vertical diameter and the transverse diameter, it is not altering in case of children and the females, adult females. Because of this, here the voice, or in case of children or here in case of females, it is not so much different. Okay, but in case of males, adult males, this is changing. So transverse diameter in case of females and the children, it is maximum, but in case of male, vertical diameter of the larynx it is maximum. Because of this, there is the quality of voice is differing. So in case of male, the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, they are anteriorly, they are producing much more acute angle, and this angle, this is called Adam's apple. In case of male, it is much more prominent, but in case of female, here it is forming the obtuse angle, and the angle is measuring almost 120 degree. So here the shape of the larynx, it is changed. This is also one reason why the voice quality is differing. Okay, now so if you see the, now the interior of the larynx, so if you want to see the larynx, so what you should have to do, either you should have to go beyond or posterior to the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, so posteriorly you can see. Okay, or you should have to see from above or from below. Okay, so if you see the here the interior structures, what you will see, so before starting the, here the structure of the interior structures, so here you should recapitulate the cartilages. So here you can see, so if you cut vertically the vertical section of the larynx, what you can see, so this is the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. Okay, so anterior margin of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, so this is the anterior margin. Here the epiglottis is attached by the thyroepiglottic membrane. Okay, now this is the hyoid bone, can you see, so this is the cut section of the hyoid bone. Okay, now here this is the body of the cricoid cartilage, and this is the arch of the cricoid cartilage. So I have already said, so anteriorly it is the arm of the arch it is going. Okay, so this is the vertical section. So anteriorly it is the arch, and this is the body of the cricoid cartilage. Over the body of the cricoid cartilage, here this is the arytenoid cartilage. Can you see? So this is the arytenoid cartilage. Over the arytenoid cartilage, there is the corniculate and cuneiform, which are situated in between. Here you can see. So this is the one membranous structure in which the muscles, one muscle, here the not only the one muscle, the other muscles are present. I will say later on. So this is the here what you will see. So this is the laryngeal inlet, and it is the aryepiglottic fold. So this is called aryepiglottic fold. I will say later on. So within the aryepiglottic fold, here there are the two bones, two cartilages are situated, corniculate and the cuneiform. Okay, they are situated over the arytenoid cartilage. So these are the paired cartilages, arytenoid, corniculate and the cuneiform. Okay, corniculate and the cuneiform, they are placed at 90-degree angle to each other. So that here this aryepiglottic fold, it should remain always tense. Okay, so this is very important. Now, so these are the arrangement of the cartilages. Okay, now what you will see, so in this diagram, now you are entering the here the larynx, inside structures of the larynx. So what you will see, you are looking from the posterior surface. So these are the two laminae of the thyroid cartilages. These are the cornu, superior cornu, inferior cornu. Here the epiglottis is attached to the posterior surface along the midline of the thyroid cartilage by the thyroepiglottic, here the membrane. So above, from above, here you can see, so there are the two folds. Here you can see there are the two folds. So these folds, they are formed due to the thickening of the membrane which is coming from above, and this is the vestibular, this membrane is called the quadrangular membrane, and the ligament is formed. So this is called the vestibular ligament. So you should remember, so from above one membrane is passing downwards, this membrane is thickened below to form the vocal ligament, and the membrane is called the quadrangular membrane. From below, one membrane is going upwards, and here this membrane here thickened along the midline, along other side of the midline to form the ligament. This is called the vocal ligament. Okay, so this is called the vocal ligament. So here in this diagram, what you can see, so here this is the thickening of the membrane. From above the membrane is coming. So here this is the fold. So this is the this is the vestibular fold, and from below there is a membrane is thickened. This is the vocal fold. So vestibular fold and the vocal fold. So mucous membrane, it is passing over the thickening of the membrane, so to form the fold. So this is upper pair of fold, so along the midline. So this is called the vestibular fold. In my previous diagram already here described. So these are the vestibular ligament. Over the vestibular ligament, the membrane is passing to form the fold or the raised margin. So this is the vestibular ligament within and vestibular fold above. Okay, so the mucous membrane over the ligament is called the vestibular fold, like this. So here the vocal ligament and the vocal fold below. Okay, now so here one thing you should remember, that is all the cartilages of the larynx, they are hyaline in nature, except here the epiglottis, corniculate and the cuneiform, which are elastic cartilages in nature. Okay, so these are very important. Now, so in this diagram, here what you can see, so these are the lamina of the thyroid cartilage. So this is the epiglottis. Okay, now here this is the body of the cricoid cartilage. This is the body of the cricoid cartilage. Can you see? Over the body of the cricoid cartilage, there you can see triangular arytenoid cartilages are sitting. So these two are the arytenoid cartilages. Okay, now here what is important, that is in case of arytenoid cartilages, here what you will see, it is having the one surface that is medially directed, they are opposing to each other, so this is called the medial surface. Okay, one surface which is here posteriorly directed, so this surface is called the posterior surface. Another surface, this is called the anterolateral surface. So here this is important for the relations of the attachment of the muscles. So here the arytenoid cartilages is triangular in nature, number one, where it is sitting over the, here the posterior part or the posterior border part of the cricoid cartilage, this is called the body of the cricoid cartilage, this is called the base. Upper part where the, here the vocal fold is attached, so this is, here you will see, I will say later on. So upper part which is directed upward and medially, this is called apex. Okay, here one process which is directed anteriorly where the vocal fold is attached, this is called the vocal process. Okay, another process which is directed posteriorly and laterally, this is called muscular process. So there are the two processes, vocal processes where the vocal fold is attached, this is the muscular process which is directed laterally and posteriorly. Then the apex which is directed upward and medially. There are the three surfaces, medial surface, anterolateral surface and the posterior surface. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so in the apex part, here what you will see, there is the ligament is attached. So this ligament, this is called the oblique arytenoid ligament. Oblique arytenoid ligament, can you see, oblique arytenoid ligament. This oblique arytenoid ligament is coming, or it is attached from to the one sided apex of the arytenoid cartilage. It is coming from the, here, that is the anterolateral surface of the opposite arytenoid cartilage. So you should remember they are crossing each other. This from the apex of the arytenoid cartilage, this is continuous as the aryepiglottic muscle. Aryepiglottic muscle along with the mucous fold, which is called the aryepiglottic fold. Okay, so this is the oblique arytenoid muscle and this is the aryepiglottic muscle. Okay, aryepiglottic muscle and the aryepiglottic fold. Okay, along the, here the mucous membrane, over the aryepiglottic muscle is named as the aryepiglottic fold. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, now here this is the muscular process I have already said. So muscular process, anterior part of the muscular process is giving attachment to the lateral cricoarytenoid muscle, lateral cricoarytenoid muscle, which is causing the rotation of the arytenoid cartilages. It is very important, rotation of the cricoid cartilage, so that here the gap in between the two arytenoid cartilages is increased, which is required for the production of the voice. I will come. So this muscular process anteriorly giving attachment to the lateral cricoarytenoid, posteriorly giving attachment to, this is the posterior cricoarytenoid. This is very important. So muscular process is giving attachment to, what are the muscles? So muscular process anteriorly giving attachment to the lateral cricoarytenoid, posteriorly giving attachment to the posterior cricoarytenoid. Okay, posterior cricoarytenoid is the abductor of the vocal folds, abductor of the vocal folds. It is very important. So as per the function I will come. So if you should remember here the attachments of the muscles. So here the muscles anteriorly it is attached to the lateral cricoarytenoid, posterior to the posterior cricoarytenoid, which are attached to the muscular process. Okay, now in between the, here the, here you will see, so these are the two posterior surfaces. In between the two posterior surfaces, horizontal muscle fibers are passing. This is the only unpaired muscle and this is the transverse arytenoid. Transverse arytenoid, which is very important for the adduction of the, here the arytenoids, or that is for the adduction of the vocal folds. So this is the transverse arytenoid. Okay, so what are the muscles you have already seen? So this is the aryepiglotticus, this is the oblique arytenoids, this is the transverse arytenoid, here the lateral cricoarytenoid, lateral cricoarytenoid, this is the posterior cricoarytenoid. Okay, posterior cricoarytenoids. Now if you see this diagram, the interior of the larynx, laryngeal cartilages, so here what I have discussed. So these are the structures what you can see. So this is the vocal process where the vocal ligaments is attached. Can you see? So red color one. So this is the vocal ligament. Okay, vocal ligament is giving to the small muscle fibers laterally. You can see. So these are the small muscle fibers attached. So these muscle fibers are the vocalis muscle. This is very important. Vocalis muscle. It is not a continuous muscle. It is having the small muscle fibers which are having origin and the insertion within the vocal fold. Within the vocal fold, you should remember, within the vocal fold. So this is the vocalis muscle. So vocalis muscle is partially contracting and relaxing. When one part is contracting, another part is relaxing, like the wire of a guitar. Okay, so that there is the production of the voice. Now lateral to the vocalis muscle, here you can see. So it is passing from the posterior surface of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage up to the anterolateral surface of the cricoid cartilage. This is the thyroarytenoid muscle. Thyroarytenoid muscle. This is the relaxer. So relaxer of the vocal folds. So what are the movements we are saying? So these movements are the gap in between the two vocal folds. So actually the movements, so these are occurring in all the here the laryngeal cartilages except the cricoid cartilage. Cricoid cartilage, it is unable to move. It is the here the this is the stepping stone over which the other cartilages are sitting. They are actually moving to produce the gap in between the two vocal folds. So you should remember. So cricoid cartilage is unable to move. What is moving? That is the other cartilages of the lamina of the thyroid cartilage, by which actually the gap in between the two vocal folds and the gap in between the two arytenoid cartilages are produced, so that we can produce our voice, or we can either have the inspiration or expiration. Okay, so these are very vital. Okay, now so here very important structures are what I have said. So what are the muscles? So muscles are, that is the vocalis muscle, then here that is the thyroarytenoid muscle, lateral cricoarytenoid, posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. Okay, then this is the aryepiglottic muscle, transverse arytenoid, and the oblique arytenoid muscles. So these are the muscles which are required for the production of the voice as well as for the inspiration or expiration. Okay, now in between the, here you will see, so this is the vocal fold. Okay, so it is attached to the vocal process of the arytenoid cartilage. So this is the vocal fold. So this all together here the vocal fold it is having, here the anterior part, here you can see the anterior 3/5 and the here the posterior 2/5 part. So anterior 3/5 part which is the membranous part. Okay, membranous part, and the posterior part it is cartilaginous part. So cartilaginous part it is in between the two arytenoid cartilages. Okay, so here the gap, can you see? So this is the V shaped gap. This is very important. So this V shaped gap, either it is shortened or it is narrow, or this narrow part it is in between either the membranous part or in between the cartilaginous part, or it is in between the both. Okay, so this is required for the voice production. This is very important. Okay, so these are the structures of the larynx. Thank you.